Another big win for Chelsea puts them in the hot seat for the Europa League next season. After the game, their manager Mauricio Pochettino said that nobody cares what he has to say as his future at the club continues to be questioned. His team needs one more point from their final game to secure that place in Europe after beating Brighton 2-1 in the Premier League last night. Pochettino last night spoke with our chief football correspondent Alex Crook after the win.
Mauricio, job done in the end, a bit nervy in stoppage time, but what did you make of your team's overall display?
Yes, so happy because I think the performance was really good from the beginning. The game, I think we start to show our characteristics and philosophy and the idea that we want to play. And I think to dominate a team like Brighton always is difficult. They are doing a fantastic job in the last few years. And of course, I think big credit to the player because I think we fully deserve the victory. The 3 points allowed us to believe and to dream that the possibility to be in Europe next season.
Effectively, you will be in Europe next season because of the goal difference. How proud does that make you? Because it's been difficult at times.
Yes, always football is about to believe, never give up, and when you believe in yourself and keep going, even when performance were good, we didn't match with the result, and I think payoff, the word payoff, and I think that is the reward on the end of the season, but yes, to finish, in this way, and I think it's so important for the team and for the club, and okay, to be optimistic for the future.
Now you have qualified for Europe, are you hoping that some of the questions about your position will stop, and might it be helpful if maybe there was some public backing for the owners, from the owners?
Stop the rumor, no. I think it's few days, and then I will, like you say, they are going to assess and see what is going on, no? Because the rumour came from the beginning of the season.
But would you like the owners to come out soon and publicly say you're our man to take the club forward?
No, I have 1 year more contract, and then the decision is from them.
Rory, what do you make of that last question there from Alex Crook saying, do you want the owners to come out and back you? Because Poch replied by saying, no, it's all right, I've got another year on the contract. But do you think that's important? Did Crookie have a point there?
I don't actually think it's essential that the owners come out and say that he's staying, because I actually think that there is some jeopardy around it. I think that there is a chance that Pochettino himself may now be thinking about leaving. I think his time at Chelsea can at least be spun that it was a good stint. The finishing position, the old adage about history being written by the winners. The bottom line is Chelsea will qualify for Europe. Chelsea will have the highest finish that we've had under these new owners. Chelsea look like a far better team. And the feeling around Pochettino is better than it's been all season. He also intimated fairly recently that it isn't only the decision of Chelsea. It isn't only the decision of Todd Boehly. He suggested that it's very important that we all acknowledge that he holds some cards here as well.
You've had a mixed relationship with Poch as the manager throughout the season, from a footballing sense at least. There's been times in the season where you haven't wanted him as the manager, but even before this game, you uploaded a video about wanting him to stay as the Chelsea manager. Why did you put that up? Yeah,
it's a complex feeling, really. I want him to stay, not because I like him, not because I rate him, not because I think he's done particularly well, but because I think it's a very bad summer to be looking for a new manager. I also think that he has 1 year left on his contract. The last thing that we need after 2 years of incessant upheaval is yet more upheaval. So the fact that there's only 1 year left on his contract, and I kind of begrudge saying this, but he's sort of earned it. Qualifying for Europe from where we were.
Well, at least in the latter half of the season, he's done well.
Yeah, I don't even think it's 4 wins in a row. I don't even think it's that. I don't even think it's that. We have basically found form when everybody else has gone to pot. Everyone else around us has totally gone to pot, and we've found some rhythm. And if you look at our form, say since that Arsenal game, it feels like that was a seminal moment in the season. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are ready for this season to end. I've certainly been ready for this season to end. But now, if it was another month, 6 weeks longer...
We'd have been laughing about Chelsea getting into Europe.
If this season was another month longer, 6 weeks, say there were 6 games to go, I think we make it into the Champions League spots. We've displayed a resilience and a resoluteness that just wasn't there in the beginning under Pochettino. So I feel like all of the factors, him earning it needs to be acknowledged, but also the fact that this is a terrible summer to be looking for a new manager.
Well, exactly. So just to get that bit straight, that it's not a good summer, are you almost begrudgingly wanting him to stay on?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Why is that?
Because I think it's best for the club. I'm trying to look. I will never like Pochettino. I don't really want Pochettino as Chelsea manager. I don't think there is anybody more. I don't think there is anybody more symbolic of Tottenham Hotspur currently in the game. Maybe Harry Kane.
Yeah.
But Mauricio Pochettino is front and centre of Tottenham Hotspur. If you try and personify Tottenham Hotspur, it is Pochettino. There is no
in what
place.
sense?
Well, if you think about what Pochettino represents, he represents that Tottenham team that came to Stamford Bridge to try and win the league and ended up crying in the away dressing room, like Danny Rose in tears and that. Symbolic of that was Mauricio Pochettino. So realistically, if you are the personification of Tottenham, there's no room for you at Stamford Bridge. That's the rule. There is no room for you.
To be fair to him, though, but
that tribalism isn't going to do the club any favours.
No, and I know what you're saying as well, because even after these wins, to be fair, I don't know about the game last night, but I was at the game against West Ham, which they won 5-0. Even after the game against Spurs as well, the Chelsea fans are happy. They're not singing Poch's name.
No, I don't think that will ever happen.
There's no relationship there. But to be fair to him, he acknowledges that as well. He was asked the other day about, are you going to kiss the Chelsea badge? He says, look, it's not really for me. I don't know if that relationship is there yet. Do you think does that bother you as a fan? Because I'm not being funny. You just said there, if the season went on a bit longer, you could have pushed up into the top 4. Let's all be hypothetical about it, but it's a good way to be ending a season anyway. Does it really matter? Does it really matter if there's not that really strong bond between the fans and the manager if he's winning?
No, of course it matters. Of course, football is more than simply a result. It's a feeling. It's a family. It's a commitment. It's a lifestyle. Of course, you can't have a situation. It's ultimately unsustainable. But if Chelsea have a manager who hates you.
But if Chelsea went on to win trophies next season under Pochettino, let's say they won the Europa League, let's say they won a League Cup, you'd say you won't enjoy them as much just because you don't like the manager?
No, definitely not that. We would certainly enjoy it. What I believe when you have a situation like this, though, you've spun a question in such a way where it's almost impossible for me to answer it, because you say, what, if you win trophies? What I'm saying is the chances of winning trophies with a manager who clearly hates you, it's ultimately unsustainable. Mauricio Pochettino doesn't like Chelsea. He doesn't like Chelsea fans. If he's being totally honest, Chelsea would be one of the clubs that he despises the most. He is Tottenham. He loves Tottenham. Okay. He has made a beeline for former Tottenham players every time he played them. He has never once clapped the Chelsea fans. He is a good manager. Not a great manager, not an elite manager. He's a good manager. And he is behaving in a professional way, which I admire. Yeah. But I believe that it's unsustainable to have a manager that doesn't really like you.
It's a bit like the Benitez situation, isn't it?
Exactly.
He was
it's
there
exactly. And Chelsea fans never took to Benitez. It's very important to acknowledge that people say Chelsea fans plastic and all that. We hated Benitez before he got the job. He came in, he finished third, he won a European Cup. We hated him afterwards.
And he went. With Pochettino, then, in your opinion, let's say next season Chelsea, and this could happen with the trajectory they're on. They're pushing for top 4 / in the top 4. They're pushing for the League Cup as well. But the services of a better manager come up. What should Chelsea do in that situation?
I think it would
because you said that the relationship with Pochettino is unsustainable.
Yeah, I think he'll finish. I think the situation, if it could go the best that it could go, it will go like this. Mauricio Pochettino has 1 year left on his contract. He will not get a new contract, but he will see out that year, hopefully winning silverware and qualifying for the Champions League along the way. I think everybody could then, almost like the Benitez thing, shake hands, say gracias, and part ways, and then almost confine that season to the ash heap of history. Like that Benitez season, thanks to Ivanovic, will live forever. It's one of my best days ever. Yeah. Can you imagine? I was in Amsterdam. I was young, free and single. I was in Amsterdam and we won a European trophy in the last minute of the game. We became the first and I believe only club to simultaneously... No, thank you, Branislav. We became the first and only club to simultaneously hold the Europa League and the Champions League on the same night. Do you know what a good night that is in Amsterdam, beating Benfica along the way? Like, you're going to have a good time. So I will forever be thankful for that season, but Rafael Benitez as manager will go down as one of my worst ever experiences. And to be totally frank, I feel like Pochettino's on the same trajectory.
You would have Pochettino in the same bracket as your hate for Benitez? Yeah. Even more.
They're cut from very similar cloth.
Do you not think it will be a difficult situation for the club, though, at the end of the season? We've already spoken in the show about the dearth of good managers.
No.
There really aren't that many.
Yeah.
throughout European football at the moment. Look at Bayern's search for the manager.
No, this is the problem. This is part of the reason that I'm saying that we should stick with him this year.
But that's what I mean. What if they get to the end of next season and it's gone well? Should they not extend that contract?
Well, it depends.
Just because of this relationship with the fans?
Not if, for example, for some reason Zinedine Zidane is still out of work and fancies a Chelsea job. Not if Carlo Ancelotti fancies, another go at Stamford Bridge. Unfinished business in the European Cup, maybe. Not if that's available. But if people start talking about Thomas Frank and Roberto De Zerbi, then you've got to stick with Pochettino. Pragmatism, Ollie, pragmatism.
I just find it sad, mate, that you won't be enjoying it as much. I just find it sad.
I'll enjoy the team winning, but I'm a man of principle and honour.
Yeah.
I will never sing Mauricio Pochettino's name. He could win 3 Champions Leagues in a row and I never sing his name.
Really?
Never.
What about 4? Go on, 4.
4 in
there
a
would
row.
be a little Poch song for 4
in a row.
Surely.
I'd never do it. It's too Tottenham, isn't it? He's magic, and all that. It's far too Tottenham.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.